It is January 5th. Yes, folks, 2023. Take that. Take that. It is January 5th, 2023. And this is it's actually Thursday, not a Monday. It usually shows on Monday. Monday was a holiday. I am James Lott Jr., the super organizer. My longest running show going into 8 years of doing this. Actually drinking a cup from a long time ago. This was back when on February 5th, 2016, I did a second launch of my show on Adrenaline Radio. It's so funny. I love it. The pages are still there on Facebook and Twitter. It's Broke Guy Show and the SOS Show, Jim Jr. Um, I've been doing this show for so long. I love it. I've had so many guests. I'm heading towards 400 episodes. I'm getting there. I haven't booked anybody this year yet, but I'm going to start looking again. I'm going to start booking. I had COVID over the holiday, family issues over the holiday. It was a horrible holiday season. I'm sorry, I don't have to tell you guys. You know, I'm a realist. It was not a good holiday season for me. I'm glad to be done with it. We're dealing with everything now. I'm feeling better from COVID. The person in question is still going through our stuff, but we're settling into that. But I am back. A new year means new birth, new growth, new opportunity, new everything. Some people it's just a date, but for me, it's a date and plus. It gives stuff there too. So I'm excited to give you another year of great content, of organizing and be more realistic. And I also started, before I start, I thanks and gratitude to every episode that I'm always going to do. And my thanks and gratitude to everybody. Everybody who's ever watched and listened to the show, downloaded it, been on the show, talked about the show. It's been featured in Force Magazine. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I'll give a shout out to NAPO. I'll give a shout out to all the NAPO chapters. I'll shout out to the Finland professional organizers, the Dutch professional organizers, and also I give ICD and just special to my friends in Pittsburgh, organizers, and my home state, and all the folks in LA, and my girl Regina and all them, all the past presidents who've been on the show, and current president. I hope to continue that tradition. This show is very popular for me. I worked very hard at this show, and I know that I know it means something in our industry. So I'm very touched being a gay Black man in this industry in his 50s, trying to make his way in this industry. It has been wonderful to do this. But I want to say, I'm also going to start doing classes again, doing just little virtual things, like cleaning out my junk drawers and getting a couple of tips here and there. So I've been doing Zoom events, private Zoom events. You go to any of my social medias, James Lott Jr., JLB, whatever, and see them. I do classes and events. I do life coaching stuff too. I'm a certified life coach. But I've decided to I have one in February, 10 tips to get super organized, just little tips here and there. I do suggest if you want some training, go to napo.net. I always support them if you want, official training certification. But I know some people just want to get some people they don't want to do all that. They just want to get some tips just how to get started. So you can come to me and I'll get you started in a way that's realistic. And of course, not one size fits all. I have a lot of friends in this business. That if you want information, you want to try other people, I will pass you on to them too, so you can get what they're not. So we have so many. I love it. Well, if you don't know this by now, I love this industry. I love the folks in it. There are so many folks that are just so good what they do, and I admire them so much. And you want to hear their advice. I mean, I was just going to throw some names on just because you should be following them. Ellen DeLapp, you should be following her. Geraldine Thomas, Dorothy, the organizer. Just to name a few people I just love: Regina Lark, Leslie Joselle. People I just love. These people I love: Susie Heyman and Amy Telkos and Ellen Fay. They got some great books out too. They got some good books. You can watch the interviews on here. Usually come on here. We talk about them. Christy Bolgeiter and Sortified. We have some great ones. The Black professional organizers. Check them out. All those folks over there. So just there's some great folks in this business. Yes. Words. Also, I do a book out, of course. It's an older book, but it still works. It's a nice little pocket book. Small steps equal large rewards. But I am actually currently writing 2 books, organizing books, that'll be out this year. So just stick tuned for that. Again, it's just my way of how I organize and how I teach and how I've been successful as an organizer. And just on a side note, if you want something, because I'm a life coach too, but you also can read my series with Caesar R. Espino, Follow Our Leads. There's 3 books out. We're working on a 4th. And you can actually get those books too. There's 3 of them. Those have actually been really popular too, but we've been getting those out recently. A lot of people about realism on how to get started in a business and how we stay in the business and how we thrive in the business. The latest book we're writing is about, because I'm writing my chapter right now, is about the pandemic, pivoting and changing. It's all that noise. And not saying we're out of it because we're still kind of in it, but we're a little out of it a little bit. So, but I'm learning this. I'm learning all this stuff. I'm passing it on to you. So make sure I say that. So the thing, the meat of this new year, of course, people getting organized. And so I'm going to give you 3 things, and look off to my side, to keep in mind while getting organized. These are 3 things that I feel are very important for you out there who are not organized. This is for the plain folk, the folk out there who are just like, I'm watching your show, James, I'm listening, I want to get organized. Here are 3 things. One, I just said earlier, one size does not fit all. If someone tells you there's only one way to organize, of course they're selling their product. And they're selling. I have a product too, they're selling a product. But I tell people there's no one way to organize. If the KonMari method works for you, then use it. If something that Organize 365 works for you, use it. Like just find someone who works with you, that speaks to you and speaks to what your type of clutter is. Different kinds of clutter also at different levels. So one size does not fit all. Find the system that works for you. I think it's very important. Find the person. Same thing with organizers. When you get an organizer, you don't like that one organizer, it's just their demeanor or energy or just how they are pacing, get another one. Try another one. All organizers understand that it's not necessarily them. It's like just every person has their own comfort levels. Some will only hire women, some will only hire men, some will hire somebody older, somebody like it just depends what it is. And it's business, you have to go with it. So, but just like a doctor, a plumber, anybody, you need to make sure you find somebody that works best for you. Number 2, analysis paralysis. My friend Jack Farmer loves that line. Can happen. You have to get out of your head and go for it. It's hard. Oh no, it's hard. We're not going to sugarcoat and be like, oh, it's just easy to do it. It's hard. You've been living a certain way for so long, it becomes the better the devil you know, that you're not saying, where you're like, it's a mess. You should change, but you're so used to it. You're just kind of used to it. So to change, you're like, oh no. And this one thing I always run across with all my clients who are hoarders, I don't really work with hoarders anymore, but I have a couple who have just a lot of stuff. They kind of know where everything is in some level. They'll use that. Well, I used to have it over here, because you start to conform and work towards your situation. So you might always have pens right here. But then when it comes to finding important documents, you have no idea where they are. I know I have a jacket that I've been wanting to wear and I've worn it, and you can't find it. That's where problems happen. Because as many times you may say, I know where this pencil was, you moved it, which is true. You probably know where that pencil is. They think, oh, this mess over here, I'll put a pencil here. There are other things you don't know where it is, and you can't find it. And so we got to find the system where you can find the pencil when you need it, and the scissors, and the coat, and that's what you're trying to get to. But sometimes you're just stuck in there going, if I change everything, now what? Which I shouldn't. Should I start this? Or do I have the money? Or should I do that? There's a lot of things coming to your head. Analysis process, get it out. That's going to happen. You have to walk through it. And number 3, it will get messier before it gets better, because you have to dig in and dig out. So it's gonna be messy for a while sometimes. You're like, oh, there's all this mess over here. When you're shifting stuff around and going through stuff, and with some clients and some of you out there, you're gonna want to go through everything. You want to touch everything. You want to see it, which is your right to do. It gets messy. It can get really messy, and it can look like it's. And some people on their brain will go, now it's really messy. Now it's even worse. Like it's exploded. No, it is a little bit, but it's gonna get better. Trust me. Or I don't see. I get nothing. I always hear is like, I don't see a difference. Oh no, I'll go. I see a difference after a session. You're like, okay. And usually for me, and all my clients tell you this, I always clean up my area before I leave. I'll leave these just right. See you guys next week. You know, no, we don't do that. No, even if we're not done, we put everything neatly in a corner or something. We figure it out. But no, I always at least allow 10, 15 minutes to kind of clean shit up. We don't do that. We don't leave things a mess for the client. But now and I'll see a difference. And sometimes they're like, I don't see a difference. It may take your brain a while to see it because you're thinking, because sometimes you're thinking so far ahead. I don't see the difference, meaning the end result. Well, we're not there yet. We're gonna have to get there. We're not there yet. So there's that. So it's gonna get messier for like everything else. It's gonna get messier before it get better. So the three things to keep in mind while getting organized: one size does not fit all. Analysis paralysis can happen, and it will get messier before it gets easier. And you can walk through all those, folks. I have the biggest faith in all of you. You can do it. Every single person watching this, listening to this, I know you can. You can do it. We all can do it. It's just not easy. It's tough. It may take several tries, several starts. That's fine. It's life. Life is ongoing. So if you have a big boost in January and then February pooped out, you're pooped out. You know, you want to start again in March, start again in March. You know, it's like stop. My whole point is stop beating yourself up. All kinds of emotions are going to happen as you're trying to get organized. Those are just three things, but there's more. I mean, just while you're getting organized. But I'm telling you, in the end, when you are organized, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. I'm James Lott Jr. We're on all streaming service platforms, of course. ALottaHelp.com/the Super Organizer page. You can see what the things that we're talking about on there. Like I said, sign up for my courses. I have one coming up in February. Just go to James Lott Jr. on any social media platform. You'll see it's pinned to the profile. And come to it. We'll have a lot of fun. So we just Zoom, just come pay for it, come to it, and learn 10 things. You also get the checklist afterwards, also as part of your registration. The SOS show, SOS underscore show. Oh my God, pulled together. The SOS underscore show on Twitter. Super Organizer show on Facebook. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. And this hopefully it'll be a good new year for all of us as we do this. I'll see you next time.